Hi all, welcome to beginner series of Workato. Today we will learn about data types and data mapping and formula mode to manipulate or transform our data fields. Before we move into our today's session, let's have a quick recap on our previous session. In our previous session, we have discussed about recipe versions, compare recipe changes, export packages and import packages. You can access our previous session link by clicking I button at the top of our video, or I'll be providing a previous session video in my description box. Please do have a check. Okay, coming to our today's session about the first part is data types and data mapping. So before we move into data mapping, let's have a look about data types. Data pill can be of the following data types. Okay, it can be string, float, date, Boolean, integer, object, datetime, and array list. So I would like to discuss more on about the object and the array list here. So object is a collection of key value pairs. Okay, but whereas arrays do not have a key value pairs here. Okay, so the object is a structured set of data with a various attributes, whereas arrays list will have consist of a same set of data type. Okay, so let's talk about data mapping with a practical way. So we'll go back to our workspace and to discuss about data mapping. Okay, let's go there. Okay, once you log into your workspace, so you will have a sample recipes with you, right? So for our today's session, I'll be taking a small sample recipes to discuss about data mapping. Okay, so let's see. This is about syncing Jira tickets to Salesforce. So I'll be taking a case as an object of Salesforce to saving the Jira tickets, like about the status, about the priority, about the ID. So okay, so various things. So in general, recipe interface. So this total recipe interface is divided into three parts. Okay, first is recipe flows, which consist of triggers and actions. Okay, so let's talk about the first one, that is recipe flows. So here we can add more steps to our workflows, as well as we can reorganize. Say example, I want to put I want to push this for fourth step to third step. As I am not using a fourth step or like third step before that search operations, so I want to pull down that to the four steps, and I want to pull up, like, or I want to drag the third step of the create cases into a from fourth step to third step. Okay, so that can be done in the which is at the left side of your recipe interface, whereas in the right side of your interface, recipe interface, you will have the configuration of your data fields. Say I want to select, say, like third step. Okay, have an option to select which are fields you want to save or you want to map from the first step. Say I have selected say contact ID, descriptions, priority, status, and subject. So I have left over 20 fields, so which is I not meant for my requirements. I have just not selected it. Whereas in your case, can be selected based on your selections or based on your requirement. You can select the few more fields into your workspace or into your recipe interface. And the third one is, here you can notice the recipe data box at the top bottom of your screen, that is right. So this will help you to pull, or you can map the fields from the previous steps to our current step. Example, I have a map, all these values, say ID, descriptions, name, summary. So these fields have mapped it from my previous step, that is from the step 1. So here the point here is you can have access, you will be having access to our previous steps data fields or data fields to be used. Those values can be used for your current steps. So one more thing you have to remember here is the value which are present in the data field will be in the dynamic in nature. So every time you run, you will get a new value in that particular data field. Say example, I have a mapped ID from step 1. If I run this recipe, if there is any new issues in the Jira ticket, it will trigger my recipe and it will save or create a case in Salesforce with the current ID or a current issue ID present in the Jira. Again, when I create a new issue in the Jira, it again manipulates the data of the ID. So it not be have the same value every time. Okay. So please remember that. So let's talk about formula mode to manipulate our data fields. Okay. Let me go back to my projects again. So just save it here. I'll go back to my projects. So I'll select one more recipe, that is I want to use this particular recipe to be explain about formula. First, what I have done here is I've selected trigger as schedule based. Okay, every 5 minutes it will run if I put it in the start state. So after that, I have created a variable, say name, address, and age. Okay, so everything here is string. Okay, and have address which is what you can differentiate by commas, like say this is my first address line 1 and Bangalore is address line 2 and remaining is address line 3 along with a pin code. Okay? So I have selected age as, instead of integer, I have selected ABC, that is string. Okay, and here is you can differentiate each fields by their data types. The example, say schedule day is of type string, whereas the schedule week is of type integer, whereas the last job time is of type date time. Okay, so you can see the differentiate between your data fields. Okay, so what I did here in the third step is I manipulated the name using GSub. So here when you add, so for the formula mode to be activated, the first it will be in the text mode. Okay, so you have to select the formula mode, so it will go in the color will change at the background of our data field. So when you select dot, right, so it will show, first you can select if you see the name is in the string, the input type is string. When I select dot, it will give the recommendation for me what kind of operation can be used for the given string. So currently I've used GSA, that is replace the parts of the text string. Say I want to replace my name with a Satya. Say like wherever Shiva is there, it will replace Satya. Okay, the first part. And second, in the fourth step, what I did here, I've used same name, that is from the step 2. Again, I have sliced with a slice will use, what it does is it gives you a starting index which from where you want to get the substring. So I have selected 0 for starting point and length will be should be 4. So 0 to 4 character it will select from my name and gives me the output. And second is address. So what it does is address is the split. Basically what I've used is like I've used the address and I've used a split operation, and the split it does is like you can split the given string by giving the characters from where you want to split it. So I have used comma as a separator, like means like to divide it. So I'll show you how it split into multiple parts. Okay. And third is converting your data type from one data type to another data type. Say I have used age as a string, whereas I want it to be in an integer. So I've used 2i. You can use 2f, that is like to float or to date or something like that. So there's a lot of manipulations can be done based on a given recommendations or a data type you wanted. Okay, so I have just discussed about the string manipulations, and second thing I want to discuss about is date manipulations. So date manipulation is like, say you have a now. That's now is nothing but it gives you the today's date along with the date. It will give a time. Okay, but whereas the str of time it does is it can be done like, suppose you want to manipulate your date and time to a date or only a time. It can be done using strf time. Okay, so I've used only to select a date from the date time. So this is what it does. Like I have used percentage y, percentage m, that's for month, and d for day. Okay, so for test recipe, so see, so first it was having a original value, say name, address, age. Okay, whereas I have updated the variable with, I have manipulated my string, that is Shiva Avadani to Satya Avadani, whereas I've used gsub for replacing. All right, so second in the second, like fourth step, I have used slice. Right, slice, what it does is like you have used 0 to 0 index, whereas I want fourth as a fourth length as 4. So up to 0th index to up to 4th, the length should be a 4. Okay, that is like Satya, from Satya to from 0th index is S A T Y. So 4, length 4, it gives you the output. Address, have used split, right? So split by comma. So wherever comma is there, it's splitted with multiple parts. Say like I have right after the Malleshwaram I have comma, and after Bangalore I have a comma. So it does 3 parts. Say Himagiri Meadows near Malleshwaram, one part, Bangalore second part, and the Karnataka along with the pin code is third part. So, and the third one, that is the age, that is we converted string into integer. That is, it was shown in the double quotes, whereas in the age it's shown in the integer value. Again, we'll go to the last step, that is manipulate. We have transformed date time to a date. Say 2023, month is 10, that is October, and 14 is the today's date. So this is all about today's session. We have discussed about data types, data mapping, and finally we saw how to use data formula, that is formula mode, to convert our one data type to another, or how can we manipulate string into a substring, how can we access a substring out of that, how to get that. Or third thing we have saw like how to split multiple parts from one string, right? So now we'll go back to our next part, that is a quiz part. Okay, so the quiz time now. So the first question is, given you are using a formula mode to transform the input Washington into WAS, which formula expression would be best to use? Okay, it's a very easy questions. Okay, I think hope you everyone will get answers for this. Okay, let me give you the answer. So the answer is slice. So as we discussed, so slice, the first 0 indicates that's the index weight you want to start with from the given string, and 3 is the length of the your substring. Okay, let me go to second question. What formula should be used to map an account ID from a string to integer, since it is in the integer in the Salesforce but string in the other application? Okay, so very simple question. So I think everyone will get answer for this, right answer for this. Yeah, so that's absolutely right. So it's like you have to use 2i to manipulate from string to integer. Whereas suppose if I gave the string into float, what you would have used? You would have used 2f, right? Yeah. Will make me that. The third question is how to replace a part of a substring with another substring for the following example. So input is blue ball, and output is red ball. So I want to find the blue and replace the red ball. Okay, any guesses, guys? Okay, so that's correct. Gsub. So gsub, what it does is like it finds the respective string and replace with another string, the given string, whatever you want to replace it. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. You have done a very good job. Okay, so you have learned good things about data types, how to use it, how to manipulate it, how the what is the formula mode, how to use it to transform over one data type to another, how to split it, how to replace it. So there are a lot of things to learn about these formulas. So please let me know if we have to learn more on the formula mode. Say we can take a separate session for each of these things, like number formulas, string formulas, say list formulas, and other formulas. Like other formulas will consist of like encrypt, decrypt, decode, encode, base64 encode, base64 decode. So more about this. Okay. So let me know. We'll go to that again for our next session about more on the number formulas like that. Okay. And let's meet in the next session. Thank you.